Welcome to another episode of the Talking Blues podcast. Chelsea 3, Leicester City 0. First YouTube video, YouTube recap episode here. Josh, Alex, Peter, you get to see our faces. I don't know if you're happy or upset about that. I know Peter isn't so happy about doing the faces on that part. I think it would have been a better one when we were all together, honestly. But, of course, Mike cuts out. We know how that ends. So we're here now, all together. It's very exciting stuff. Um, and Chelsea are victorious. We were actually on a call together for the whole match, so we all know what happened. We all know who watched. And 16-4 when it comes to shots, 7-3 shots on target. Peter said in the call it could have been 5 or 6-0 by the end of this match. 5-0 specifically if it wasn't three. No, three offsides goals, two offsides goals. I think it would have been 5-0 if those offsides goals counted, I want to say. But I'll throw it to one of you two to discuss further.
I mean, like you said, what I said. It could have been 5 or 6-0 with all the offsides goals. We played it. We were just really, really well. Leicester as a whole didn't play well either. They weren't particularly good. I don't know what happened to them, but they've been struggling, and they didn't play well against us either. But we created chances. We looked positive. We scored. We finished chances. They were offsides, but it's a good sign that we're actually finishing those chances because that's what we struggled with against Burnley, which led us to only get that draw. Uh, just overall, Conte with a great goal. I mean, just a good attacking performance from everyone, really. I said Conte in particular, but I wouldn't even say he's my man of the match. But just like everybody played well. I've been saying that the past few games just because in general we've just have been playing really well. Obviously, we didn't get the result last game, but we fixed everything that we struggled with against Burnley, and we created these chances like Burnley, but this time we just finished them. And without Lukaku, obviously we knew we were going to have the struggle, but it's good that we're being able to finish these chances. And Hakim Ziyech and Christian Pulisic were both very good for bright spots coming off the bench. They obviously linked up for the third goal. Pulisic also scored an offsides goal and assisted an offsides goal. Ziyech almost gave Pulisic a goal earlier than the actual goal. They had a good ball from Ziyech that Pulisic almost finished. And just overall, just a really good attacking game. Edouard Mendy too. When Leicester did have those few long shots, there were a few really good shots, and he was equal to them. He made the saves he needed to make. Another clean sheet. The best goalkeeper in the world. So I'm glad we have him. Defensively, Chalobah played well. Rudiger played well. Rudiger obviously got the goal from the corner. It was a very nice flick, very good run. Thiago Silva was also very composed. Just overall, everybody played well, and it was just a good game. 3-0 win, top of the league, 6 points clear as of now, but obviously we play first. But just a good performance from us.
And the Tuchel masterclass with the substitution come again, as you said. Ziyech to Pulisic connection, obviously them both coming off the bench at the same time. Alex?
I agree with you, Peter. In terms of the performance, I know here in the U.S., the broadcast, they were kind of mentioning, this is the best Chelsea have played all season. I wouldn't really say that. I thought we were solid, especially coming back for this early game, coming right off of international break, and then being able to put out a performance like that is quite impressive. But yeah, I thought everyone played extremely well. Rudiger obviously with the first goal, kind of saying, "Hey, you got to re-sign me, pay me that 12 million pounds a year." Where Chelsea only really want to pay him about 8.5 is what the rumors are out in circulation. And he obviously also comes up with a very big block to stop a near very probable goal if he does not intervene there. And in general, the wingbacks played very well. Chilwell, Reece James continuing on that high bit of form. And it was a very good performance. And going forward, Havertz struggled a bit. I felt, Mount struggled a bit. Callum Hudson-Odoi seemed a little bit sharper. I'm not sure if that's because he didn't really participate during the international break, but he seemed a bit sharper. But he also, had a couple of misjudgments throughout the way. Jorginho and Conte looked very sharp. Jorginho obviously not having a great international break, but seemed to come back to Chelsea at a consistent level as he was before. And N'Golo Kante obviously just was N'Golo Kante, but crazy seeing him bang in that goal from outside the box with his left foot. Very impressive.
Very exciting. Alex, I want to put you on the spot here, unfortunately. You say this isn't the best Chelsea that you have seen this season, right? The best glimpse of Chelsea, like the broadcasters are saying. When has that happened for you then?
I wouldn't say necessarily it's up there for sure. It's probably one of the better, but I'd say Chelsea Norwich 7-0 was just a masterclass, right? I think that was, Norwich obviously sucks, but Chelsea played extremely well.
I thought you could have also gone with the would that be like a rhetorical answer, but the you haven't seen the best of them yet type thing, because you can also pull that one.
I could have gone that
That
too.
would have been a good one for English class, Peter, as I'm sure our English teacher would have loved.
Rhetorical analysis.
That'd be a great answer, but I'll answer this too. I will. Uh, it's we haven't seen the best of them yet. No. I think Norwich. See, the thing is, I think I want to say Norwich and this game are kind of similar as like 1A, 1B, just because the quality of the opponent in this game was obviously much better, and we could have won 7-0 if we weren't like a bit offsides. Like we could have won 7-0. It could have been a similar scoreline. Like we created similar chances and everything. And especially since it's against a better opponent, I'd say it's arguably could be the best we've played this season. So, but I would say since the result actually against Norwich was 7-0 and not just could have been 7-0, I think that performance is better.
I'd say that's a fair point to make, but yeah, maybe we haven't seen the best of them yet. I mean, we got some difficult matchups coming up. Obviously, Juventus on Tuesday, and that's going to be a big game if we want to finish first in the group. Whether that matters a lot or not remains to be seen. But yeah, very happy with the performance, and Tuchel definitely set everyone up so like we get back from international break, and we're going to continue going at it.
And Tuchel, especially in the first half, they showed a little tribute to him at halftime of all the times he kind of raged throughout the first half of that game, getting upset more about Chelsea losing possession due to lackluster passing and stuff of that nature. And the 2-0, right? I think we were up 2-0 at half, 1-0 at half. The whatever the scoreline was at the time just wasn't a 2-0 at half. I got the sign from Alex, if anyone's listening. It wasn't the score line that even Thomas Tuchel cared about, as he still wants his club to play the best football that they can. And like you mentioned, Peter, we're up 4 points right now in front of Man City with 29, I think, and they have 23. Although we're the first game of the weekend, and
6 points, Josh, not 4.
I can't count. I can't count. Can I? I can't
29,
count.
23. That's 6 points until
29,
the other
23,
teams
yeah.
play. Yes.
You are correct. I cannot count. And we are recording this. Actually, we wanted to do instant reaction, so we could put that in the title because we think we're cool. So we'll put instant reactions. So we
Instant
are doing
reaction
this.
in all caps, maybe, if that's in the title. Then get
Oh,
excited.
that might be a good one. But yeah, we are recording this before literally every other match, as Chelsea was the first. So you have to wait for Man United Watford if that goes the way you think it will go. I don't know what other way besides a Man United victory, but I don't know. Liverpool Arsenal coming up. Man City Everton tomorrow. Tottenham Leeds. So there's all of these matches that need to be played, and we'll have to see how that goes. Besides that, I mean, in this game, besides what we can all say, it's just like a Chelsea dominant performance. There's nothing else to come from that. The thing is, we haven't been here for a while. We didn't address that in the beginning. It's been a little bit. We took the week and a half off or so, international break. Do we talk about that a little bit? I mean, I want to say specifically the U.S. men's national team, as we both probably, or all three of us have watched probably both of those games. I definitely watch more. I was paying attention to the Mexico because that's our biggest rival. Christian Pulisic comes on, scores the goal. I mean, it's all good. And Chelsea, the U.S. men's national team has actually, what is this, for the first time in many years, has won 3 in a row, I want to say, against Mexico. That was the stat that everyone was talking about. It was something along that nature. So very good for the U.S. men's national team. And Pulisic coming on and making a difference in both matches that he played. And the one today as well. So he's just making an impact no matter where he goes. But what I wanted to say really is since we've been off for the last 2 weeks, there has been injury updates with players. Romelu Lukaku, I believe, has returned to training, as well as Timo Werner. Or maybe it was Werner, not Lukaku. It's like one of the two of them. I think it was Werner who returned to training. Lukaku, though, he keeps us updated with those live tweets. The running emojis is really getting us hyped up there. He's really trying to get the Chelsea fans into it. But he has been tweeting, rapidly about his progress. So he's been running and doing all that stuff, staying conditioned. So that's good. Although ruled out of this match as well as Mateo Kovacic and Timo Werner in Tuchel's press conference on Thursday or yesterday, Friday. He ruled them out. Although I want to say that's it for the injury updates. Do you guys have any other talks on the game before I move to Chelsea update?
Nothing really game related right now, but I did want to talk about some transfer rumors if that is any bit interest. I'll go right ahead now before we go to the Chelsea update. It's kind of a Chelsea update if you think about it that way. So midfielder Gavi from Barcelona, the 17-year-old, there's been many rumors over the international break that Chelsea are intending to pay his 50 million euro release clause and sign him from Barcelona. There's been talks because apparently he's under new contract negotiations. People aren't really sure. Barcelona are confident that he's going to stay and sign a new contract, but Chelsea seem intent on paying his release clause and signing him to the team in January, as early as January. I was looking at this. Obviously, he's a very young midfielder. He was born almost exactly 3 months before me, and it's kind of crazy that he's playing at the professional level and about to get paid, his release clause is about to get paid for 50 million euros, and I'm sitting here talking about him. So it's kind of funny, but anyway, I was looking at him when, the rumors came out. I was like, oh yeah, and how old is 17? I knew he was young. I didn't realize he was like that young. And it's kind of like a weird shocker. It's getting to that point where some players are younger than me, and that's a little bit concerning.
Completely forgot, Alex, that you were already 17 too, because Peter and I's birthdays are so late I guess they are pretty late. We're next summer, so we don't even turn 17 until the summer. So yeah, that's pretty funny. Although you talk about these young stars in football, it's kind of one of the only sports that I would say, at least when we're talking about professional, because we talk about the four major sports where we are in the U.S., and it's really football, basketball, hockey, and baseball. And you don't really see 16, 17-year-olds getting their starts at this time period. There's always the many levels of minor leagues in baseball and football. There isn't really minor leagues, but you have to really go through college. And now in the NBA as well, there was a whole thing of, can you come out of high school? No, you have to do 1 year of college at least. So it is pretty I got to think of a word, but pretty amazing that these young talents can come out at such football at a professional level.
And if you think about it, they're not even out of high school. They haven't even graduated high school. I don't know what exactly, in Spain, what the high school curriculum is, but, I know in La Masia, the Barcelona Academy, I'm sure that they do like school. I know they do schooling as well as, playing as well. So he's probably still taking some tests in school, and he's rumored to get sold for 50 million euros. Crazy. I haven't really seen much of him. I'm gonna definitely look more into it, so I'm not gonna give like my opinion on whether or not he's worth it or not. I know he just kind of popped off recently. Obviously, he couldn't have been around for that long. And he seems like a very talented youngster. 50 million's a lot for someone who's very unproven, but I'll definitely take a look in more, and then we'll talk about it more next episode for sure. If the rumors also continue to surface, obviously, because if they go away, then we're not going to talk about it.
Peter, I was actually going to say again before we go to Chelsea update, we're just pushing it off. What do you think about the Jorginho injury? I know something a little Nick probably looked like cramp, signaled hamstring is what you told us on the phone. Anything to be worried about?
I mean, it could be. I mean, I'm not this doctor injury expert over here. I just saw someone. I think I'm pretty sure I saw someone on Twitter say that like he signaled hamstring, which isn't good because that even if that's just like a nagging pain, hamstring injuries are not fun and especially not good for soccer when you run around a lot. But with Kovacic out, even if it's a minor injury that could keep him out of Tuesday, it's not ideal. I mean, it'd probably be fine because we can just do Loftus-Cheek and Conte in the midfield, but you never know with hamstring injuries, and those can tend to like stay a while and just kind of like be annoying, and then they're really re-injurable, which is not a good sign. But hopefully, maybe he wasn't signaling hamstring and it was just a cramp, and then he'll be fine for Tuesday. But you don't really know, so hopefully it's nothing major, but we'll see.
Getting some of the post-match stuff now, and this is very interesting. So Thiago Silva obviously has been sensational for Chelsea, despite him being 37 years old. There's been rumors that he's going to sign another extension with Chelsea, another extension, so that he can stay another year even after this season because he's playing so well. His numbers versus Leicester today: 100% of duels won, 97% pass accuracy, 101 touches, most on the team, 94 passes attempted, which was also most on the team, and 91 of those completed. 8 ball recoveries, 3 clearances, 1 tackle. 37 years old, a rock at the back. Very impressive for Thiago Silva. Just wanted to mention, when the stats come in, you gotta roll with them.
Men had a few key saves in this one too. Obviously, it wasn't saving the game or anything because we had a lead already. But he wasn't used much in goal today. But when he was, he did what he needed to do. Made 3 key saves, and it was a good job by him. One of them on Madison. I thought that was the biggest one there. Obviously, Madison, a very good player. So, well, now he's a bench piece, right? So I guess he was trying to find his starting role. Maybe he used to be a really good player. I don't know really how to phrase that. All right, Chelsea update. I should get some music on here. Alex, are you able to do that? Well, not. I don't know about the video, but like some news, like da na 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 na.
I can do that on the audio version, but not on the video version, unfortunately. Well, I'm not up to that level of supreme editing yet.
All right. Well, if you can add a little news, like da,
Okay.
it doesn't have to be for this one, but like in the future, I think that would be cool.
It's gonna be all right. Fine. I was gonna say it'll be really awkward if we're like, oh, and then the news sound starts now, and then we're just all sitting here bug-eyed on while everyone on the video is just watching, like, oh, what's going on?
Well, we'll figure it out. We'll see.
We'll
how
figure it
goes.
out. We'll figure it out. All right.
Anyway, I was just an idea, So just 2 scores that I have for today. The first one coming from the Chelsea women in the Women's Champions League Group A versus Peter and I had a little bit of discussion on this last episode. I'm gonna go Servette women. The pronunciation of this, we'll never get it, so I'm not even gonna try. They played them on Thursday, November 18th, so 2 days ago. Got the 1-0 victory, so very good job for the women's. That was Sam Kerr who had the single goal in that match. 1-0 victory there. If I look towards their next match, which I should have this but this is what happens when you record instant reaction. You really don't have time for preparation like I normally like to. So just got to nicely stall here. Nothing really happening much. Their next match is going to be in the English Women's Super League. Oh, tomorrow. Look at that. Tomorrow, early morning for us of 9 a.m. start, it looks like. Or that could be in the UK. I assume probably UK time because it's on the Chelsea website. So they play the Birmingham women next or tomorrow. So,
To say we won't be waking up at 4 a.m.
If it's at 4 a.m., which it probably is because it's a Chelsea website, yeah, that is not happening.
The struggle this morning was real. I was rolling out of bed.
It's a tough wake up. Second one is going to be Premier League 2, Division 1, as Peter and I talked about last episode. They are awful. But you know what? We still do their updates. 3-1 victory. It doesn't happen often, but it did happen. The developmental squad wins 3-1 against the Leeds United, their Premier League 2 squad, so good for them. And their next match, I'm having trouble talking here in this Chelsea update, is going to be in their Champions League, Group H against Juventus on Tuesday. So similar to Chelsea, they will also be playing Juventus in their Champions League as well. When it comes to table-wise, here, gotta stall. This is when you also should have music here.
Yeah, new music,
on,
but
dun, dun.
I'm going to talk also another piece of news. My friend Fabrizio, he just tweeted out that Chelsea are intent on a contract extension for Thiago Silva. So my comment was right. So shout out to Fabrizio.
Just now?
Yeah, like 20
That
minutes
up?
ago he put it out.
Oh, very cool.
I
All
didn't
right.
notice.
Chelsea women sit in second with 18 points, 1 point behind the Arsenal women. So let's see if they can catch up and go to first in there in the women's league. And then PL2, Chelsea, you know what? They're getting up there. Out of the 14 squads in the Premier League 2, they're up to 8 now with 13 points. So almost in the middle of the pack. Let's go, Chelsea developmental squad. Hopefully you can get up there. But that is your I'm Josh. I don't know if I'm supposed to be a newscaster. I'm Josh, and that is your Chelsea update. And that's about it when it comes to that. So appreciate it. Yeah.
All right. Clap. I think that's about it, right? For this, do we have anything
Yeah,
else?
I don't think, because it's just so early that we don't know exact squad details, and we need to have a Thomas Tuchel press conference in preparation on Monday or Tuesday. We're not going to do the preview when it comes to lineup wise for the game on Monday.
Agreed.
Or Tuesday. On
Tuesday.
We will have a recap episode, right? I think we'll do that. We'll do a recap episode.
Yeah, recap episode Wednesday morning, hopefully, ideally.
Wednesday morning we have school.
No, Tuesday night, and we'll release it Wednesday morning.
Oh, yeah. No, that makes sense. Yeah, we'll probably do that. And then maybe preview to Man United. I don't know. Well, it all depends. But Chelsea face Juventus in the group stage. Once again, the 5th out of 6 matches in the UEFA Champions League group stage. Hopefully they get their revenge. This is the first time they're playing them since they lost, right? So, yeah, thank you. You gotta say the yeah for the audio version, because you can't just nod your head for the video one. But besides that, I think we'll wrap it up here. Well, we thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Talking Blues podcast. If you're on YouTube, I can say this now: subscribe, drop a like, comment if you want as well. If you're not on YouTube and you're listening anywhere, you can subscribe, you can drop a comment, but it would be a review on Apple Podcasts, 5 stars. You can follow us on just Twitter and TikTok, I want to say, at Talking Blues Pod. We're on both of those platforms. I'm on Twitter at Joshua29, Alex on Twitter at Anorian23, and shipitstudios.com/talkingblues. That's shipitstudios.com/talkingblues. That's all of the links where you can catch the episodes. But for now, Josh, this is how people do it. For Alex and Peter, I am Josh, saying thank you so much for listening, and we will see you next time.